Guys, so we have my client Jack here today for a interview. Um, First time we're doing this, which is really exciting because been working with Jack for about 12, 16 weeks now, getting amazing results. We're just going to go through Jack's journey and just cover what we was doing before, the breakthroughs and the work we've done, and the results, and then the next step, Jack. So thank you so much for giving me your time today, mate.
No problem at all, man. No
So
problem at all.
let's just start, mate. Like, take us back to kind of where you were at before we started working together, and more specifically around why you felt like something needed to change with the current business. Because by all means, things are going well, you're in momentum, but you reached out to one of the posts around Freedom Creator and Freedom Chaser, which is one of the key posts that we teach around the old way, new way, and aspirational identities. But yeah, just give us a bit of insight in kind of where you were at and what that moment was when you were ready to reach out.
Yeah, so coming to the end of last year, I had been working on my business and it went from like I'm gonna say not 0 to 100, but like in the space of like 4 months, client wise, it just compounded. My prices started to near enough triple. I just started to take on loads of clients, and it went from coaching like I would say, 10 people to having 25 people, and they was all paying top tier price as well. So even when I was pushing it up, they were still signing on board. So like I don't know, someone said it's like you go through a summer, and I was just like yes, 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 yes. And then it got to a point I was enjoying it to begin with. Like I was coaching so many different people. I was putting in all of the hours, but it got to a point when it come to the end of last year where I was like doing like 7 clients a day, Monday to Friday, and then on no, sorry, Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday and Saturdays when I could do like rest of life stuff, like your content and all that kind of stuff, right? But I was getting to a Friday, and like I can breathe now, and I started to like get excited for the weekend again. And then it went on for so long. And but don't get me wrong, that I was earning great amount of money. Like my biggest month, I think by the end of last year was like a 45K month or something like that. It all come together. It was all going really well, but then there was just something missing. I was like, I'm changing lives, I'm earning the money, I'm doing all of these things, but there was just something and I just didn't feel right with me. And I think it got to a point where I kind of created a caged life where I was not dreading to wake up Monday, but it was like, oh, I've got a fucking day of it. You know what I mean? And what that end up doing is just making me sort of not enjoy what I was doing as much. Like I love to coach, but when you do too much of something and you've got no space for yourself, you end up getting a bit resentful because you've got no time on your hand to do maybe all of this other stuff that you like to do. So then Friday and Saturday would come and I could do all of this other stuff. I'd start feeling energized and joyful again. But then it just kept going around in a hamster wheel and it got to a point and I was like, just something's missing here. Like I'm not going to be able to grow. I'm not going to be able to do other things that I enjoy to do in my life, whether that's spend more time with my daughter, spend more time in my community, make YouTube videos. Like I still want to build my brand and do all of that. I'm not going to be able to do that because the only model I've got at the moment is a high ticket program, which is working really well, by the way, but I've just got no freedom. I've got no time on my hands. And I just realized it's going to get to a point where I'm essentially going to hate what I'm doing if I don't leverage my time better. And I knew it wasn't a case of only just raising your prices because I kept doing that and the slots were getting filled. So it was like something else needs to go in play where I'm not basically time for money and I'm just sitting there, hour after hour after hour after hour. I need something else that's going to enable me to give me some freedom and flexibility so I can actually start working on some other areas that I find important, right? Because otherwise, I'm just going to end up hating what I do. And one of the biggest reasons why I reached out to you because I see your post. But what I liked about you, Ryan, and listen, everyone knows about inbound, leads and stuff. You'd never actually had a conversation with me. Essentially, you'd like my stuff. We had maybe exchange of a couple of words, but there was never no push on trying to get me as a client or anything like that. And then when I reached out and just see the post and asked for a bit of advice, You basically told me essentially what to do without telling me what exactly to do and give me a lot of value, and you led with value. And I felt like, you know what, that just makes complete sense for me. And I feel like this is something that someone that I'd like to work with, because it seemed like you understood exactly where I was, you understood what needed, and you give me loads of value. Like I could have come off that first call and just said, all right, cool, I know what I've got to do. But it seemed right for you to, help me go through that transition and process to create a bit more freedom and flexibility in my life.
I love that, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because I think like most of the guys that will listen to this will be similar to the situation of you, right? They come into the coaching, consulting, expert space, what that is, come in, do their one-to-ones, get some clients on board. But for you specifically, you are, as a high performance coach, you have a much higher capacity than most people would have, right? Having 25 one-on-one clients is a huge capacity, right? Um, and a lot of the guys that would listen to this might not be there yet, but the only way, the default path is there or burn out before they get there because of
Yeah,
like
for sure.
where they're going, right? And the thing that we did speak around was around model, and that initial call again, it was what we practice, what we preach, right? Around like the value driven, service led approach. So I love that, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. So um, tell me a little bit about kind of like when we actually engaged and we started working together. What was kind of the most helpful lessons, takeaways to start with, and kind of what were you maybe surprised about in the process as well?
I think a couple of things is number one, selling people, or not even selling people, showing people or selling people the idea on, living this life. It's not just we don't just start here 12 weeks we stop, you know what I mean? Really getting people to buy into the long-term vision dream of everything that they want for themselves or what I want for them, because I know as well as it's like it's just never here, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just like really buying in people, putting into the whole ecosystem and helping them become the best version of themselves, not just for a short while but for the long term, but then also creating something for people that might not necessarily be at that one-to-one standard yet, and also respecting my own time when it comes to that, and just putting other things in place so other people can join into that mission as well, without it being okay. Because for me, it was, I'm here, this is the price. If you don't meet that, we can't work together right now because I have nothing to serve to give you. But it was also annoying me because the whole thing that I'm trying to do is work with the right individuals, whether that would be me a bit younger that didn't have the finances to, afford the one-to-one coaching, or whether it be me a bit further down the line where I have got the money for the one-to-one coaching. It's like I don't want to serve everyone. I want to serve the same people with the same problems, but just at different stages in their journey. And I was
Yeah.
leaving so much, off the table and not allowing people to join my community and all of these things because, but essentially, one, I didn't have the spots. Two, they may not have the money. And that's something you really open my eyes up, is like putting in a system that's going to enable me to keep everyone, or give everyone an opportunity to work with me, regardless if they've got one-to-one, they're at that middle, or just even putting things in place that give a lot of value for people if they're not at that stage to purchase from you. So it's
Yeah.
also giving people and allowing them to essentially be in your proximity, um, without just saying, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah, love it. And like the context on that with the proximity offer, right? Because like if we're looking at life design, reverse engineer, right? You're busy, you only have a certain amount of energy. How do we reverse engineer and build your model around access to you so you can cap spots and but still maximize your profitability by your model by building that ecosystem and then building it around the aspirational identity, right? To create that long-term vision for people to buy into because it's like we spoke about before on our calls around people trust people less now, right? So having them bringing into your world and not just into a coaching offer is
Yeah.
what creates that sustainability, right? And you've come in with a good message and a brand prior to that, and it's just a few of these small tweaks that have really created that longevity in your offer
And
as well, right?
for sure, and I think also by giving you and stealing the belief in myself, it's like you've got so much value to give it, not just through that one-to-one. So by crafting something different, that's going to enable other people to join it, it's like you've got the skills, you've got everything needed really for everyone else. You've just got to put something together to give to these individuals,
Yeah, absolutely.
which I
So
thought was great.
so what was the biggest, most exciting result that we've achieved so far? And kind of like tell me about what happened and how that kind of happened. Because we had a really good month in April, right? And now we're moving, teeing things up. We had success with the launch. Now we're teeing things up, which we'll get into next. But let's just kind of let the guys know kind of what that big win was. And we'll
Well,
go from there.
there's a couple, mate. Like I went down from 22 clients down to like 10 clients, but being confident to say, you know, tens enough there, and then I also increased the price even more, and then just sat at that's where I'm gonna stay at the moment. So that was like one big, you know, breakthrough on one big win that I thought is just like not having to work all of them extra hours, increasing the one-to-one price a little bit and being confident with that. But then also I love success in terms of I love making things happen. Me and you, for example, have a call. Let's just say it was, you know, February or whatever it may be. You tell me, look, this is what we need to put in place. This is how we do it. And then, you know, a couple of months later, I've got another offer in place. I'm releasing it out to the market. I'm getting people buying, and now I'm like 6 weeks in group coaching these individuals. So sold out the spots for the group coaching, and I'm actually taking all of these individuals through that process right now. So like wins like that for me, I think is great. Like when I've signed up with someone, you've told me what needs to put in place, we've built it, we've released it, we've sold it, and now I'm actually doing what I wanted to do, and that's give my time back. But that's also not just by group doing the group coaching, but by having the confidence to take away the one-to-ones, increase that price. These are massive wins, and I think not last year, it was last month. It was come out at a 42, 42K month, and that was working. As I said, I've had a 40, I think K month before, but that was like signing fucking everyone up, and that would give me that amount of clients. Like I'll be honest, the 42 came up that we had, it could have been more, but as I said, I capped the amount of one-to-ones that I had. So if I wanted to get it up, I could have, but it would have meant that I was sacrificing, an X amount of hours a week, and that's something that I was not willing to do. And I think it was just having confidence to say no, knowing for now I could earn money, but I'm not going to, because I respect my time more. I want to service my group coaching and build this other offer up, because I know in time, in the next 3 months, that's going to be where the 60K month, so on, and that come forth.
It's a beautiful place to be, man, and it turning business away because of that constraint, right? And having that
Yeah.
and honoring the model and honoring where we're at. And I think that I love hearing that, man. I'm so pleased to hear that, because it's exactly what we come here for, right? You're a dad that you ran 100-mile ultra during between this as well. And exactly what you say around creating the life in all areas, not just business, which is a big part of kind of what you teach. It's some of lifestyle based model that I teach. So I love that, man. So tell me kind of what's different now. So tell me about how your life and business is different now. And then we'll kind of go into like what's next, because I know that we've got some exciting projects and certain parts of the system that we're rolling out next. So yeah, if you could just go into that, mate, that'd be awesome.
What did you say? What was the
So what's
the
different
what's
now? Like
different now?
how are things different to kind of there and then? I know we covered it a bit already,
Of
but
course,
like, why is that important?
the difference now is that I've got more time. Like the group coaching, for example, there's 2 calls I do a week with it, right? That would be on a Monday and a Thursday that I do these. But usually before Monday, so that's 1 hour of coaching on a Monday. Usually on a Monday, that would be 6 clients. Yeah, but now what that's enabling me to do is focus on other things that I enjoy doing. So one of the things, one, I wanted to grow my podcast, which had needed time from me. I wanted to start growing my YouTube, which means me making, more YouTube videos, going out, doing more filming, writing more content. Also, I want to write more blogs and stuff like that. So really what I understood was like, what do I value the most? What brings me most joy and excitement? So that what by doing so, what I can then do is either delegate out things that I no longer feel that excited about that I've done in the business, but then also how can I leverage my time better so I can focus on all of these other things that I want to do when it comes to building building the brand, building the community, but then also doing things like on a Friday, going to pick my daughter up from nursery, or on a Monday picking my daughter up from a nursery, rather than just saying to my girlfriend, "Oh, I can't do that," because before I'm trying to coach one-to-ones, I'm trying to do YouTube, I'm trying to grow my Instagram, run 100 miles, fucking do a podcast, put my community together, service my clients, do the sales, do the marketing, and it's just like I was somehow managing to do it, mate. But if I'm honest with you, but like it was coming at a cost of not being as consistent in the areas that I essentially love the most,
Yeah.
and then crashing and burning a little bit and putting things aside that I really want to focus on. I know if I align myself with the things that I value the most, I'm going to get the best energy and I'm going to be able to be even a better version of myself. And by putting these things in place, that enabled me to spend more time doing the things in my business that I love to do.
Yeah.
That was probably a massive win for me, for sure. My life
And
changed so much difference
that's
from
the
that.
point, man. In it, like we build a business to serve our life, not the other way around, man. So,
And
yeah, so
and
grateful for that.
and sorry to interrupt you, but like the same thing, getting up on a Monday again, like I'll tell you what, Monday, but also like because what happened, I was like waking up, going to the gym, getting back for 8 o'clock to do a client every single day. Now Monday, there's one client, the rest is what I want to do. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, all the mornings are free now, so I can focus on the things that I want to do. And then at midday, I work with my clients. And then Friday and Saturday, no clients. So just that in itself has enabled me to focus on everything else that I want to do rather than like just essentially being a slave to my clients and
Yeah.
just hours and hours and hours, which is it's unsustainable.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Again, like most guys do go through that, especially the high performers, right? If you're a high performer, you're watching this, you're a high performer, it's that hustle, 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 burn out. And it isn't like the business model that you choose and how you run your business is an important part of that, as well as kind of how you operate on a personal level, right?
Of and of course, because if and also the thing is as well, like if you're a coach, you have to be essentially your best for other people too. So if I'm
Mm,
burning myself into a grand, it may have been more sustainable in I don't know a recruitment business because I'm just picking up the phones and smashing the phones and that's all
mm.
you're doing. But if I'm doing it and I'm trying to coach and help other people improve their life, I needed to make sure that I was living up to standards for myself so I could feel my best, so I could be the best for everyone else.
100%. And it's something I think it was even the first time I ever reached out to you. I was like, I just want to fucking cheer you on because you embody everything that you speak about. And like a big thing that in the coaching space is around embodying what you fucking say. Like anything that comes out of your mouth has to be fucking true because the audience will
Mm,
never listen to it. Like you're
yeah,
speaking to the void and it won't come back. So I love that, man.
100%.
Um, so next then, so like now we've done that. What are you excited about next, mate? Because I know that we've got a few things in place, a second parts of the system. So what are you excited about to come, bro?
I think the rest of the year, obviously, I've got other projects that I'm working on outside of the coaching and stuff itself. But I think for me, it's just narrowing down and taking on even less one-to-one clients, improving what I am as a coach, improving that service, increasing that price even more, whatever that may be. But then really putting a lot of energy into the group coaching itself. So I can grow that at a scale where even more people can take part into the calls, but then also creating another offer or something that doesn't like or the online course or something that doesn't require me to put so much time and effort in but can still give value, like working on that triangle like what you said, having me at the top, times limited, only taking on a certain amount of clients, having a group coaching offer does enable me to service more people than having something else that is a little bit less value but is still giving less cost but still giving loads of value at them, and just creating a system and an ecosystem really works for me. It's not that I don't love to coach or I love working and I love doing, but I just want to make sure that it's on the right things. And I feel like the things that we're putting in place is going to enable me to still earn, great amount of money, but not being stuck at my laptop all day. And that's
Yeah.
what I was at before. I was just stuck in house all day. Whereas I want to do some of that, but I also want to go out and build my brand, build my presence, work on myself and all of that. And the only way I'm going to do that is by doing the things that we're putting in place.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And like this is the thing, like now we've got the model, the leverage model that's scalable. Now we're just about to launch our audience ads to generate audience growth and lead gen. about to relaunch our mini masterclass and do a lot of the heavy lifting to get pre-sold, pre-qualified leads in, and then it's going to be around installing an EA or VA to actually free up more of your time, even more time, so you can really focus on the brand, right? Because it gets to a certain point around like working in the business, on the business, right? The best work you need to do is getting out there, creating content, coaching your clients, and systemizing everything else to do the things that you're best at, that you have your competitive edge at. So
For sure.
it's exciting times, mate. So just a couple more questions then. What advice would you give someone who's in the same situation as you were before, mate, or like whether in that period of they're hustling their one to one, they know they've got more levels to it, they know their model's unsustainable. So what would you say to that kind of guy?
Honestly, and I say this to anyone, I'm heavily in just invest in yourself and let someone that knows what they're doing help you do it. Let them, someone that's walked the path, they've got the knowledge, they've got the expertise, they've got the skills. And not every coach is unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like I've signed up to people in the past that have, it's not gone the right way. So pick the right person, number one. But, and you've been the right person for me, but invest in yourself and let someone help you get where you want to go. Like, especially if you're a coach, people pay me because I've walked the path, I've lived it, and I've got results, and I'm going to get them where they are. When in the past I've tried to figure it all out for myself, I've just kept spinning my wheels. Spinning your wheels costs time, energy, effort, and even more money because you think one day you're going to figure it out. You may figure it out, but it might take you a year rather than someone helping you within 3 months. And I feel like if you invest in yourself, and someone's done it, you're going to get there, a lot quicker than if you ever tried doing it for yourself. So number one, invest in yourself. Number two, I would say you have to commit though. Like you have to
Mm,
commit. You could have given me all of the tools, and if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have got where I am now. You know what I mean? And I also look at it when it comes to business as well, mate. Investment. Can I get like I don't know, 10x my investment with yourself? You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I always look at that. When you're investing in yourself or your business, are you going to get a return on investment? I've 10x my investment with you. To me, that's fucking 100 times worth it over and over again.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, man. It's been such a
No
pleasure,
problem.
man. Like we speak, you understand what we're saying. Any questions you ask, and you just go implement. We'll chat when we need to chat, and then you just execute, mate. So it's been such a pleasure, man. I'm obviously excited for what's more to come. Is there anything else you want to share, mate? Because if not, we can round it up there, bro.
No, all good, man. I think I covered everything that I want. Listen, it's been great. We're still gonna work. We still got work to do. We still got things to carry on with. But everything that we've done so far, I'm grateful for yourself. You jumped on a call with me to begin with. You said this is what's missing. I could have actually what you told me on that call probably gone off and tried figuring it out for myself. You know what I mean? Because you did give me that much value. But we jumped off the call. I got signed up straight away. We put things in place. I listened. I executed on it. It paid off. And what more do you want from a coach? You know what I mean? It's been very easy going. You've been very like even with the people that work for me. If I ask for something, you send me over a playbook or information or something within depth. So you've not just trained me. You've trained people that work for me too. So it's been more than I could have asked for. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you, brother. We'll leave it there, mate. Appreciate you, bro.